Hey, what is up? It is oh okay, we are live. Welcome to episode 143 of Player Life. It is Wednesday the 14th of July here in Japan. So yeah. Another good day. Um Riley in the house. What's up, brother? What is good? Hope you're well. Gabriel E in the house says Tyler Durden smoking a grit. Hilarious. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. That was the first image that came to my mind. You know, thinking of a bad boy. Tyler Durden seemed appropriate. But yeah. Let me just start off by sharing what I got up to today. I'll just share the screen. All right. So yeah, this is this is from a few days ago, but yeah, who doesn't like a bit of photography? You know, if you're interested in photography game, hit me up. As you can see, it's quite a pleasant on the eyes to have to photograph nice scantily clad hotties. But yeah, that's another subject. But yeah, this was today. Let me see. Shape coming along nicely. This exercise is for the abs. It's pretty hard. It's harder than it looks. Trust me. Try it. It is pretty hard to keep yourself suspended and move from side to side. It's definitely not easy, but yeah, just getting a good ab workout. Just controlling myself on the bar. It's all about form. You have good form, you're gonna have good muscle. But yeah, it's about quality over quantity. Quality, like up fast, down slow, or down at least controlled. Yeah, it's nice and weather's pretty hot here in Tokyo. I like it. It's a little humid, but it's better than rain. Yeah, at least you can be out. It's nice. I like it. It's comfortable. Um, but yeah, just another day in life. Abs coming along nicely. Nice controlled, slow drop down. That's important. And Yair in the house with yeah, really controlled. Nice wide grip. No cheating. Absolutely perfect pull-ups. Up fast, down slow. It was funny. This guy came along. This small Japanese. Well, I guess he was pretty short, but you know, he came along and he was with his chick, and his chick was like a good bit taller than him. I don't know what size he was, but she was at least this much taller than him. She was pretty hot, but he was in pretty good shape. But he walked by and he tried a little bit on the bars, and then he didn't really do too well. He could do a few like 3 or 4, and then they left. Then he came back to try and redeem himself, and with his girlfriend in front of me and Yair, and you know, he took off his shirt trying to show off. He was in pretty good shape, but yeah, he didn't really know how to do a proper pull up. You know, like it's a guy. He was in really good shape, but he had no idea how to do a proper pull up. It really annoys me at this point when I see guys that can't do. It's like it's not that they wouldn't be able to do it. It's just that they don't know how to do a proper pull up. It's like they're doing this like, you know, really really fast, like not properly extending their arms, not going up fully, not. It's just like, anyway, he was trying to show off, but I don't know. Maybe his girlfriend was impressed, but we weren't. That's for sure. Um, Elta says, I love bodyweight exercise. It's very functional. I hate calling it calisthenics because it makes it sound more complicated than it is. Very true. Very true. Yeah, but you know, it's not complicated. It's just you have to do it right. So many people cannot do it right, or they just don't look up how to do it. Rishi and House says, "Sup, McGregor." I like McGregor's fighting style. I mean, he's entertaining as but I don't support. I'll be honest. Listen, like his bad behavior. That's the way he's always been. But yeah, I can't say. Yeah, I can't really support the shit he gets up to. Although I gotta say, it is like people are attracted to it, whether they love to admit it or not. They want to see him like do bad shit. It's kind of like what attracted people to Mike Tyson. Not only could Mike Tyson knock people out, but he was also he was up to no good. He was people say they hate it, but they kind of want to see people go crazy. People are attracted to people losing their minds. But yeah, McGregor, I don't know. It's you're gonna tune in to see him fight anyway. But yeah, he's I can't really support. I mean, the hypocrisy, the irony, just the craziness. I don't know. It's like, but at the same time, it's entertaining. I gotta say, I didn't when he fought Poirier for a second time. I thought it was kind of boring. I was bored by the niceness, and it was annoying me. But it's just I don't know what to think. I don't know. I like seeing people go nuts, but at the same time, I don't know. It's bad at the same time. I don't know what to think. But Elta says he's always entertaining Connor, but he's always had some mental instability to him. Yeah, a lot of very talented people have some downfalls, some personality flaws or character flaws that could lead to their downfall. It's like a double-edged sword. The double-edged sword on one side, what made McGregor was not only his fighting style, like his abilities, but also his crazy, he'd predict things. Like he'd say, I'm going to knock him out in the first round, and then he would. But that's also a double-edged sword, because when you go around saying stuff like that and the opposite happens, you look like a fucking idiot. You look like a fool. So that's why it's a double-edged sword. People love it when it comes true, obviously. People are like, oh my God, he predicted it. He knocked him out in the first round. But, when it doesn't come true, you sound like an absolute fucking tool. You sound like an idiot. And that's what happened, like the stretcher thing. I'm going to put him on the stretcher. He's going out on a fucking stretcher, he is, yeah. And then he gets he actually gets taken out in a stretcher. The irony of it. But, if he did put Poirier out in a stretcher, that would make McGregor even more legendary, So that's why it's a double-edged sword. But yeah, that's a side note. Yeah, people love, that's why it's a gamble, talking that much. It's a real gamble, but that's the way McGregor always has been. So I don't know why people think he's gonna be a nice guy all of a sudden. But yeah, I think so that's a side note though. But yeah, I made a few approaches today. As usual, out and about, kill two birds with one stone. But I'll play one here. It's in Japanese, but I'll translate it. See if I'll translate what the interaction, just to give you an idea of how my approaches go. So just to set it up, I was coming home. I was coming out of my subway station. There's a coffee shop. As you come up the stairs, there was this I actually saw the girl. Anyway, I came out of the station and I've seen her before, and she's pretty hot girl. I've seen her once before. She's recognizable. She's pretty damn hot. So I saw her sitting down alone outside this coffee shop, and without hesitation, don't overthink things. Like, hesitation is the mother of all fuck ups. Like, you hesitate for a moment and you lose the opportunity. Anything could happen. Her friends could come over, and you miss a chance. So as soon as you see a hot girl, just approach, go for it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink any situation, because the more you think about it, the more awkward you'll come off, the more unnatural the whole thing will seem. Just like fucking go in there, like, you know, who cares? A lot of the time you're gonna get blown out anyway. Who gives a fuck? It's a numbers game. You gotta get the numbers in, and stop overthinking all these situations. But I'll translate it. So she's sitting outside the coffee shop. You know, there's not too many people around. It's not, you know, it's just a good opportunity to approach. She's looking sexy as fuck, and you know, I'll play the recording, and it's in Japanese. I'll translate it. すいません。この場所のコーヒーどう？この店のコーヒーどうですか？美味しい? So I went up to her and I said, "How's this?" Well, she had her earphones in, so the first time I said it, she couldn't hear, so I had to repeat it. I said, "How's the coffee in the store, in the shop? How's the coffee here?" You know, it doesn't matter what you say. I just said it as an icebreaker, and then she said it's delicious, and yeah. So I'll continue. So I don't know if you can hear, you can pick it up, but she's she's giving off very receptive vibes. Like she's giggling, she's kind of laughing, she's kind of nervous, but she's responding well. Like her body language is good. Like she's kind of nervous, but she's also very receptive. Like when girls are really not interested in Japan, they won't even smile. They won't smile. They'll gesture that they're busy, or they'll like ignore you, like completely ignore you. It's funny, but you get used to it. Who gives a shit? You know, some girls in Japan, you'll go up to them, you say, "Hey," they'll have their earphones in, you wave at them, and they'll just keep staring at their phone. They'll completely ice you out of it, and that's their way of rejection. But yeah. Oh yeah, I said, is it better than Starbucks? Is it more delicious than Starbucks? And she said, what kind? I don't know. She said, I don't really know. So I asked her, does she live around this area? And she said yes. And you know, I'm just trying to get the contact in and out. I'm not trying to go in for like deep 10-minute conversation. You know, I basically asked her a few questions, asked her about the coffee. You know, I was going to try and get her Insta. So I asked her, does she do Instagram? And she said, Insta. So she's nervous. She's kind of laughing, but it's receptive. Like she's smiling the whole time. She probably hasn't spoken to a foreigner. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe since who knows? I don't know. Maybe she never has. But yeah, she said she does Instagram, and we're exchanging Instagram. The thing about when you're exchanging Instagram, like, you know, there's going to be some fumbling, some silences. You know, it kind of embrace. You don't need to speak all the time. Like, don't be saying shit just to fill the void. Like, if there's silence, there's silence. Like, don't feel the need to like constantly fill the void. It's fine if there's some silence, like while you're changing Instagram or whatever. Europe ってことある？ってことない？海外は？Oneだけ? So I asked her, just when when we exchange Instagram, I said, "Have you ever been to Europe?" And she said she's never been, and I said, "How about, have you ever been abroad?" She said she went to Guam. Guam だけ? Guam はどう？沖縄みたいでしょ？楽しかった？今日は何してるの? So you'll notice, like, she's not asking me many questions, and you might think that's like a bad thing, but this girl was kind of nervous, and it doesn't necessarily mean she's not interested. A lot of Japanese girls will be kind of Like they'll be kind of. It doesn't really matter what they say. It's more about the body language. Like if you're getting receptive vibes off them, um, it's that's what matters really. It's like the body language. I've been on dates with girls who've literally not asked me one single question, and I end up banging them after the date. Like seriously, like some Japanese girls just they don't have much to say. I don't know. They don't have much to ask. I don't know. They kind of just are happy just to be in the presence of a foreigner. Maybe I don't know. So I asked her what she did today, and she said she got her eyelashes done. Japanese girls put in crazy amounts of effort into their look, man. They go hard. Like they get these like eyelash extensions, like proper, like not like in Western countries. When Western girls get eyelash extensions, they look fucking horrible. Like they look like they're glue on shit. No, these are different. These are like you would never even know that they're fake. Like they look legit. Like they look like real eyelash. I couldn't believe. I've been out with girls and like you wouldn't even believe the detail. Like they don't look fake. It's like they actually go to a store to get them put on. Like really, like it's crazy. I don't know, but and they last like I think they last up to a month or something. Like I don't know. They glue them on. It's great, like really detailed. But yeah, that's just a side note. Japanese girls go hardcore with their their image. She had a plaster on her foot because she was wearing these high heels, and I was like, "Oh, your foot looks sore," and she's like, "Oh, yeah, they're new heels, so her high heels like hurt her." But so yeah, I just kind of I kind of just abruptly kind of ended it. I was like, okay, so Johnny, so see you. I didn't say let's go for coffee. I could have said, let's go for coffee sometime. But I got her Instagram. I got the QR code. I added her. She added me back. She checked out all my stories. That's a good sign. So yeah, that's just the whole thing lasted less than 2 minutes, like about a minute and a half, like just in and out, boom, boom. Like you don't need these big long conversations. But yeah, like I've said that so many times on this show, but yeah, just give you an idea. If you're not sourcing, you're not banging. That's it. Sex is sales. MLD said it first, I think. You're just getting them on the sales list because just getting numbers, getting one or two numbers just is not enough. Like it's just not enough. Like chicks go around saying, "Oh, you're a player. Oh, you're a fuckboy. You're approaching all these women," and it's like they have no idea what we have to go through. We have to do that as men. Like we have to do that. If we go around just like getting one number, we're never gonna get laid. You might randomly. Like there is some times I'll go out one day and the first number I get I'll end up hooking up with, but oftentimes that's not the case. You need to get girls on your sales list, and then you need to start selling to them. That's what it's like. You're selling a product. You're not going to sell to everyone on your email list. Not a hope unless you're an unbelievably good salesman. And you sell to like 100% of your your email list. That would be fucking incredible. But so it's the same with women. You get contacts, you get phone numbers, and you'll end up hooking up with a percentage of those, depending on how good your game is. Depending on, but even if your game is like perfect, you're just like a Chad, like you dressed well, you smell good, your fashion is pimped out, everything is just like fire. You're still not going to bang all the girls you get with, and that's not to discourage you. That's just to be realistic. That's the reality. That's what you have. We just, as men, we just have to put in the numbers and get the contacts and try and close with them. Let me see. Eltas says, Spark, by the way, Spark's in the house. What's up, bro? Eltas says, the stuff MLD is doing for rooting out past trauma is important for that. All sorts of stupid things can go through your head. Yeah, I think every human has some kind of trauma. Everyone has, even privileged people or people that have good upbringings. Like someone, we're all human at the end of the day. But yeah, luckily I've been kind of lucky. I haven't had any serious traumas, but I've had, I'm human. I've had bad shit happen to me for sure. We all die at the end of the day. Not to sound pessimistic or dark, but even if you have like the best upbringing, but perfect life, you're gonna die at the end of the day. So, and we all get sick, we all have ailments, we all, but yeah, just I don't know. Sorting your mentality out is obviously very, very important. Farhan says, I saw your erotic photo shoot the other day. Shit was like the opening of Brazier. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. I have some. I don't know if I showed you guys these, but yeah, took some Polaroids. It was a good time. She was a hottie. She was a hottie, definitely. She was definitely a hottie. But yeah, it's fun, man. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in photography game. Hit me up. I know all about it. I've been doing it for years. I love shooting erotic photography. It's a good time. It's definitely a good time. Keeps your testosterone very high. Just taking photos of scantily clad hotties. Gabriel E says, hate that Venus flytrap look. I think you might be referring to eyelashes. Yeah, Japanese girls, they don't do it like that. They're very well done. They don't even look fake. But yeah, I hate those fake, thick, really obviously fake eyelashes. They look rank. A Chang in house says, evening. What up, brother? Hope you're well. Yeah, so on to today's topic of the fact that niceness won't turn her on, and it's a fact. Like, it's the most said thing in the space, probably. It's been said so many times, but being a nice guy won't get you laid, but it also won't turn her on. Being a nice guy. And I'm just gonna share an article. I'm gonna read through it, see what it says about the subject. And the title is Why Women Choose Bad Boys. So let's check it out. So women choose bad boys because their hormones make them, new research suggests. When ovulating, a woman's hormones influence who she sees as good potential fathers, they specifically pick sexier men over obviously more dependable men. And that is why that's why we say, money, muscles, game. Muscles. That's why, muscles turn women on. Previous research has shown in the week near ovulation, women become attracted to sexy, rebellious, and handsome men like George Clooney or James Bond. Study researcher Cristina Durante of the University of Texas at San Antonio said in a statement, but until now, it was unclear why women would ever think it's wise to pursue long-term relationships with these kinds of men. The study was published today, May 14th, in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. The researchers had women view online dating profiles of either a sexy man or a reliable man during periods of both high and low fertility. Participants were asked to indicate the expected paternal contribution from the men if they had a child together based on how helpful the man would be caring for the baby, shopping for food, cooking, and contributing to household chores. Near ovulation, women thought that the sexy man would contribute more to these domestic duties. Yeah, women. Yeah, um, you know, yeah, like that's interesting. Women literally go through periods of, women basically go into heat when they're ovulating. You know, um, they women are not the same as men when it comes to sex. Like there's time, like as a healthy man should be pretty much good to go every day. Like, you should like be raring to go like every day. Uh, if he's getting enough rest, he's eating well, and he's exercising. A healthy man should be horny every single day, like ready to smash. As long as you're not jerking off and all that shit. Um, but women are really not the same. It's like I think it was it's been said on the Myron said, women are walking around with post nut clarity 24/7. That's what it's like for women. Like they need to be turned on. Like men are pretty much like mentally turned on all the time. We're like, we see a hot woman, we're like, boom, I'm ready to go. I'd smash her. We don't need to know what her interests are. We don't need to know what her hobbies are. We don't need to know, we just don't need that bullshit. There's absolutely no, we don't need to have any emotional connection with a woman to be extremely turned on by her, like just physically. That's a fact. Like that is just a fact. And women, it's just not that really the same for women. Women are like, there's certain times in a month where, when they could be ovulating and they could see a sexy man and be turned on by them. But other times in a month, when they're not, like it's just like they're not turned on. They're not thinking in a sexual way. Um anyway, uh under the hormonal influence of ovulation, women delude themselves into thinking that the sexy bad boys will become devoted partners and better dads, Durante said. When looking at the sexy cad through ovulation goggles, Mr. Wrong looked exactly like Mr. Right. That is a very appropriate word. Delude. Women constantly delude themselves. Women are deluded when it comes to just a lot of things. They're very deluded. When it comes to just, I don't know, when it comes to the sexual marketplace, women are extremely deluded, or their sexual market lifespan. And obviously the mainstream media and all that doesn't help the situation. The mainstream media, Hollywood, everyone basically eggs women on to think that we operate, that we men and women operate the same sexually, and it's just fucking right in front of your face that it's not true. Like, we do not operate the same in any way, shape, or form. Like, if we did, like, the world is already overpopulated. But if men and women operated the same sexually, the world would really be overpopulated. Like, it would be, we'd be just constantly fucking, like, it'd just be insane. Women don't operate that way. Although women are having sex. Women are having, I think, I can't remember where I saw the study or where I heard it, but apparently women are having as much sex as ever before. I think it's a little bit more. Like pretty much like all women are having sex, but it's men. Men are the ones that are not having sex. Men are the ones that are getting left out. Obviously involuntarily, involuntary celibate kind of shit. So yeah, it's the men that are getting left behind, because women are obviously choosing the top tier chads and the guys who understand game. So yeah, the researchers followed up that find that find with a second study in which women interacted directly with male actors who played the roles of sexy cad and reliable dad once during ovulation and again at low fertility. Again, ovulating women thought that the sexy cad, but not the reliable dad, would contribute more to childcare, but only as her partner, not if he shacked up with another woman. Um, yeah, so there you go, the delusion again. So the nice guy, reliable dad, will get kicked to the curb, while women will delude themselves and think that the sexy, bad boy is gonna step up, when in fact, is he fuck? No, he's not. He's gonna smash and dash. And that's gonna be it. And delusion just doesn't help. Okay, so when asked about what kind of father the sexy bad boy would make if he were to have children with another woman, women were quick to point out the bad boy's shortcomings, said Durante. But when it came to their own child, ovulating women believed that the charismatic and adventurous cad would be a great father to their kids. There you go with the delusion. There you go. The delusion and the kind of jealousy, and they just want the best genetics. That's what it boils down to. Like, they want the best genetics for their child. They don't want the nice guy twerp that's gonna, work hard and provide. They don't give a fuck, really. That's why I say, when it comes to getting laid, money really doesn't mean that much. Like, it really means pretty much fuck all. Like, it's fashion, fitness, and game. They're the three things that get you laid. You could be a broke ass bum. I don't give a fuck. If you dress well, you smell good, and you game and you work out and shit, you can get laid. Like, I'm not saying that's the case for money's like a bonus point. It's like there are certain super hot women out there that will require all three. Like, they'll require money, muscles, and game. But they're like the bitches that kind of they're very aware of their sexual market value, and they're trying to milk the system. They're trying to milk what they have. But there's a lot of women out there that if you're a hot dude and you've game and you're a badass, that's all that's required. That is all that's required. While this psychological distortion could be setting some women up to choose partners who are better suited to be short-term mates, missing a mating opportunity with a sexy cad might be too costly for some women to pass up, said Durante. After all, you never know if you could be the one. That's very interesting, yeah. So that is why I am always trying to close. That's why, for the longest time, I haven't been on a second date, because I've said this before, I've talked about it. Like, there has to be a valid reason as to why she's not coming back. Because believe me, if I'm going on a date, I'm trying to smash on that date. I don't go on a date if I don't have time and I don't have, I don't do lunch dates where it's like, I only have an hour and then I have to go back to work. I don't do that because it's a waste of fucking time. I only do dates where it's like, I have time to, meet this girl, take her back to my house and smash. So if they're not coming back to my place, there has to be a valid reason. Like, there must be some reason. Like, so that's why I can't remember last time I did a second date, because it's like, why didn't she smash on the first date? It's because I'm shooting for gold on the first date. Like, that's the way everyone needs to be. And the thing is, like, that's the reason I said that's interesting, is because, if you're high enough value or sexy enough in her eyes, she's not going to pass up the opportunity. And it could be, there's a lot of other elements to it too. It could be like, you could go on a date with her when she's not ovulating, and maybe you are like a hot dude in her eyes, and but she's not ovulating. She's not feeling that natural horniness. She's not like in heat. So it could be a thing where she's just not feeling it that day, even though you're hot shit. But if you went on a date with her when she was ovulating, it might have went down, kind of thing. So it's just more complicated with women. But honestly, I just don't have the patience for it anymore. But I was, if you're starting off, if you haven't gotten laid in a long time, I'm not saying every guy should just like give up on chicks after the first date. It's like, you've heard MLD probably talk about, the 3-strike rule, and I stand by it. I agree wholeheartedly. If you're getting started, kind of trying to live the player lifestyle, trying to get a notch count, abide by the 3-strike rule until you get like abundance, and you just you really don't give a fuck anymore. The 3-strike rule, as you guys probably all know about it, is if you haven't smashed by the third date or on the third date, anytime after that, it's the only place you're ever going to meet them is in your apartment. In your apartment, and that's it. Like it's your apartment, your house. It's a house date, apartment date. That's it. No other options. You're not going to meet her. It's a waste of time. If you're going on if you're on a fourth date without getting laid, you're getting fucking played. You're getting played. You're getting played big time. Believe me, she's put out like on first dates. She's had one night stands. It depends on her age. I don't know. Maybe she, but probability says that she's definitely put out. She's fucking playing your ass if you're going on 4 dates. If you're on a fourth date, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Know your worth in the house. What up, brother? Hope you're well. Eltas says 99% of guys think doing nice things for a girl will keep her. They never do. At best, they should be rewards for good behavior. Indeed. Yeah, the nicer you are, oftentimes the more people will, not only, the more people in general will take you for granted. But yeah, you gotta have rules. You gotta have rules. But let me just share another article. Stop screen. Share another page. So this is another article by Chateau Hartiste. So chicks dig jerks in every way. The science. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we read this. We just read it. Okay, so ovulation leads women to perceive sexy cads as good dads. What's particularly interesting about this study is that it proves women don't just seek bad boys for short-term flings. When a woman is at her horniest, she wants sex and loving commitment from the jerk. And she deludes herself into believing the jerk wants the same thing. Or rather, her hormones help fuel her hamster into believing the unbelievable. This goes a long way to explaining why women take on project men and attempt to reform them. It's not because women are nurturers. It's not because women are nurturers who want to save jerks. It's because women are turned the fuck on by jerks and want desperately to keep them around and help raise the children they hope to have with them. Very, very true. They're turned on by jerks. They're turned on by guys who, because the idea of a jerk is a guy that, really doesn't give a fuck. And when you don't give a fuck, that gives off the impression that you have other options. You have other things going on. It's like far from needing it. You're far from needy when you're being a jerk with a bitch. Guys that are real nice to bitches, it's like they're afraid of fucking up. Like they're afraid of fucking up. They're worried. They have to be on their best behavior or else this girl's going to leave them, kind of shit. And that's a big turnoff for chicks. Like that's like, being on your best behavior, being a little gentleman. And it's like, it's just they don't really care about that. This flies directly in the face of the assertion by feminists, manginas, and game haters, oh my, who love to crow without any evidence in hand that women only want to sleep with jerks for a night and want nothing to do with them the rest of the time. But of course, all the baseless crowing reveals is the phlegmy bile of bitterness and dribbling down their porcine, slackened chins. Um, yeah, so um, yeah, it is funny. It is funny how all the male feminists and like the do-gooders, uh, you know, they, they simp for these chicks, but these chicks, at the end of the day, go home with the badass, the bad boy who doesn't give two fucks about the women's march or anything like that, or anything of the nature. And these fucking nice guys get left in the friend zone, simping away, being white knights, and getting fuck all in return. It's hilarious. I love to see it. Um, when asked about what kind of father the sexy bad boy would make if he were to have children with another woman, women were quick to point out the bad boy's shortcomings, said Durante. But when it came to their own child, ovulating women believed that the charismatic and adventurous cad would be a great father to their kids. Tingles trump reason. Very true. It's not how, it's how you make these women feel. If you're not making them feel excited, they're not interested. Once you get a woman tingling netherwise, she will rationalize into insignificance any deficiency or character flaw you may possess in service to her unquenchable love for your jerkitude. But beware her friends. They are not so blinded by and will whisper sour sabotage in your woman's ear. Yeah, it's happened. It certainly happened to me. Women, their friends will cockblock you real bad, and that is just something you'll run into this. You'll run into it in nightlife a lot. You'll meet some hottie at the bar, and you'll have some real good chemistry, some sexual chemistry with her, and you'll be hitting it off with her. You might even be making out with her. You might be grabbing her ass. You'll be getting pretty hot. And one of her little stumpy, little fat friends will come over, or maybe she might not even be ugly. I mean, she might be all right, But a lot of the time, the stereotype is that they're like some little fucking little just. I don't know how to describe it, but you're just a little annoyance that'll just get in your way, just cock block you, but and drag her away or whatever. But it can also happen, I mean, I remember I was banging this chick here, I day gamed her, cold approach, and I was banging her for a while. She was a regular. And one of her friends, I don't know, little researcher, I don't know how, but she found my she found my website. It's hilarious. I have no idea how she found it. She probably, I guess maybe, I don't know, but one of her friends found my website and then told her, and then obviously that threw a spanner in things, but it is what it is. While this psychological distortion could be setting some women up to choose partners who are better suited to be short-term mates, missing a mating opportunity with a sexy cad might be too costly for some women to pass up, said Durante. After all, you never know if he could be the one. And that's, like I said, that's why if I don't bang a girl on the first date, she better have a very good reason as to why, she's not down, because I know for a fact that if women view you, if women are turned on enough by you, they're going to want to smash, and there's also other elements that could, depending on the age of the girl as well. It really depends on the age of I talked before about I read the article before about the difficulty of dating women by age bracket, and some women will try and make it more difficult for you to smash on the first date. And ironically, the older they get and the more unattractive they become due to aging, sometimes the harder they make it to smash. And it's like hilarious because the really hot fucking, 18 to 21-year-olds are like putting out, and they're hotter and they're easier and they're less jaded, and they've had less dicks, so they're, I don't know, there's altogether pretty much better to be around. Anyway, in other words, it's evolutionary better for a woman to risk it all on the jerk women love than to risking nothing on the beta provider women tolerate. Such is the power of the force behind a woman's prime directive. This is the stuff that Hallmark won't put on Valentine's Day cards. Yep, that's interesting. Nothing, yeah. And than to risk nothing on the beta provider women tolerate. That's an interesting word, tolerate. Because women will tolerate these beta orbiters, and they'll tolerate them because they get things from them. They can get like financial things from them and whatnot. I consider this post another slam dunk confirmation of core game principles. It will, ball willing, drive my haters livid with rage. Some of you may be tempted to ask, Hartiste, how can you be so right so often? What's your trick? It's simple. Don't live by lies. Exactly, be red-pilled. Step 2, step outside of the house. That's it. You too can be a man of wisdom and great perspicacity by simply following those 2 rules above. So what game lessons does this study offer for students of the University of Alpha as Fuck? Lesson 1, it's better to err on the side of too much jerkiness than too little. Lesson 2, it's easier to siege a woman from short-term fling to long-term lover by being a jerk than by being a dependable nice guy. Lesson 3, keep a mental record of your woman's cycle. Amp up game when she's ovulating, toss her a compliment, and cuddle when she's bleeding. Do this regularly and you will experience a love so strong you will wonder if you can do any wrong by her at all. Lesson 4, if game is aping of certain jerk characteristics, then game is an important variable in not only attracting women for sex, but keeping them around for the loving long haul. Best of luck. Yeah. Yeah, so that is that. That makes a lot of sense. Makes sense to me. Yeah, so Riley says, love the 3-strike rule. Yeah, you got to stand by it, man. I've been there in the past where I've, I think the most I've ever done, and it felt really bad, and it must have been about 4 years ago. But the last time the most dates I've ever went on was 5 dates without getting laid. In fairness, the last 2 dates were at my house, but still, I didn't end up banging her, which was infuriating. Like 5 dates, like one of the most infuriating thing about that was, and it changed me. It really changed me. On the 5th date, when she's in my house, it's like I was really fed up with the whole thing. I was like, but she said when I, on the I can't remember, it's so long ago, but she said, I just want to be friends on the 5th date. I had made out with her. Like I had made out with her on, I think on every date, but man, that boiled my piss. Like, it's so disrespectful to waste a guy's time like that. And women, I just want to be friends, oh my God, the innocence of her little bitch face. But it was just, the innocence. I just want to be, she did not want to be friends anyway, but they don't want to be friends. And I'm not going to be your friend. But it's just, that's why it's so insulting. It's like that they don't want to be your friend. It's just like, I have no idea why the fuck she came on 5 dates, but I don't know. I'll never do that again, and you should not too. But it's a good lesson to learn. You kind of, you know, I wasn't like consuming this kind of material when I was learning. So that's the goal of me, putting out this content, is so guys don't have to make as many mistakes. You're going to make mistakes along the way, but it's like, hopefully you're not going to. I'm sure some guys have done much worse. I'm sure there's guys that have gone on dates for like just getting used and simping for up to a year. But I felt pretty bad for doing 5 fucking dates. Spark 55 says the reason why women like bad boys is because they got a purpose and develop strength through it. Yeah. Farhan says, well, some women like the gentleman. Maybe we as men should look for the balance between good and the bad. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk the whole time. You can mix in, as Troy Francis calls it, the dark triads. You mix in. You don't lean fully in one direction. You kind of mix things up. You're not like a constant jerk. That's not the idea. Some guys can get it confused that like you're just like you're an asshole. It's not really that. It's more like cockiness. It's more about just having like the take it or leave it kind of like bad boy attitude. It doesn't mean you're a fucking like jerk to these women. Like that's not the idea of it. It's more just that you don't give a fuck, and they can sense that. They can sense that you have like abundance, you have choice. That's what we're talking about really when we mean being a jerk to these women. And that's what they call being a jerk. A guy that has abundance, that pisses them off, because that means they don't have any power over you, but they're also turned on by it. They're pissed off by it, but they're turned on by it. Elta says, always beware of a girl's friends if you get more heavily involved. Women sabotage and backstab each other. True. Elta says, if you don't smash, you have no male-female relationship. Yeah, I mean, if you're not smashing, you're her girlfriend, basically. If you're hanging out with a chick and you're not smashing her, you're her girlfriend. That's it. She sees you as her girlfriend, or like a beta fucking dude. Yeah, it's and you should be insulted by that, especially if she's hot. if you're hanging out with a hot chick, she's not letting you smash, you probably shouldn't hang out with her, unless there's some benefit. Unless you're smashing her other hot friends, but it's more, it's just gonna be annoying and frustrating. It's not. She sees you as beta. It's an insult, really. Riley says, yeah, I had a chick over on the first date. She was down to fuck and everything. Still being beta, I didn't do it. Like a week later, she smashed 2 others I work with. Miss my turn and live and learn, bro. 100%. I mean, we live and learn by your mistakes. There's so many opportunities I let go in the past, like crazy, like insanely obvious. I was obviously given the green light to smash, and I had the beta mindset, and I didn't do it. I remember the one that stands out the most this was kind of a different circumstance, but this one haunts me, because I remember I was doing a photo shoot with this really hot girl, and she was a real babe, but we had finished the photo shoot, and she was like, literally, she was butt naked, and we were just chilling in the room, like I think she was wearing a G-string, and I was pretty turned on, so I was like, we started talking about I brought up the topic of massages. I asked her, did she like massages? She said, oh, I love massages. And I was like, wow, okay, this girl's giving the green light. And but at the same time, she took out this, like, she was smoking a vape pen, and I was like, what's that? And she was like, oh, it's a vape. Do you want some? And I was like, what kind of vape? And she was like, oh, it's a weed, it's a marijuana vape. And I was like, okay, let me hit it. And I hit it. But honestly, bad, bad idea. I'm not a fan of the weed. It doesn't really suit me. But I thought one hit wouldn't do much. Um, it does, but weed it's always not really suited me. I get too in my mind. I get too philosophical. I go deep in my head. Some people are like, like, just have a good time on it, but I go like inside myself. But it was really strong, and but at that point, I had already offered to give her a massage, but the effects of it just like hit in as I was giving her the massage, and it was just I just got mad paranoid and, just about the whole situation, and totally not me. Like, no, fuck no, I would not be getting paranoid. I would be getting horny if I was giving a hot girl a massage. But that's why I really don't. I personally, each to their own. I'm not a fan of weed. I'm not a fan of it, personally speaking. You can have some interesting philosophical insights into it, but it's definitely a boner killer for me. But yeah, I just stopped giving her a massage, and I was like, yeah, I better go. Yeah, so but yeah, we all have those kind of moments. Um, Pepsa Stomna says, yo, Mac, did you watch the Troy Tusk Russian approach video? They did it live from the street. I about got to check that out. I know Troy was in Russia with Tusk. Got to check it out. Have not seen it yet. I look forward to watching it. Pepsa says, most noticeable, it seemed like if the camera was visible on their success dropped. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think do you mean like that they were successful until the camera was seen or something? I don't know. If you go up to a girl with a camera, that just changes the whole. It changes it. It's not going to be a real interaction. Then it's going to be about the camera. She's going to know it's been. So that's why it's hard to get. That's why I have audio recordings, but yeah, obviously it's just hard. It's more effort to get video recordings. So Danny Arnold says, smashing is the relationship. Sex is what makes a girl fall for a guy. If there is no sex, there isn't anything. No thanks. I ain't interested in being friends, chick. True. Yeah, sex is what glues the relationship together. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I'm probably going to leave it there for tonight. Hopefully you found this episode interesting, informative, and be more of a badass, pretty much. Just be more of like, just give less fucks. Give way less fucks regarding approach, regarding how you deal with chicks. Just stop having the scarcity mindset, and you should do a lot better. Should just make you relax more, and chicks will respond to that in a positive way, and you'll have more sex and you'll be happier. So yeah, guys, I'll be back on Thursday 9 p.m. Central Time. So as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Send me an email if you have any questions. Check out the links in the description. Sign up to my premium content, all that good stuff. So yeah, catch you on the Thursday 9 p.m. show. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.